So this was a frustrating game to watch. Just like everything that went wrong for the Lions in this game went wrong. But before we talk about what happened in today's game between the Lions and the Patriots this game, and before I get to the crow on the Patriots, let me just go over everything else that happened in Detroit sports this weekend. So, of course, the Tigers season wrapped up earlier this week when they had a 4-game series against the Mariners, which the Mariners won 3 out of the 4 games in that series. So, yeah, the Tigers won the first game and then lost the last 3 games. So, the Tigers end the year on a 3-game losing streak. They end the season going 66-96, so they avoid a 100-loss season. Still a very disappointing season, considering that this team was, quote-unquote, supposed to be competing for a wild card spot, and they came nowhere near close to that goal. So yeah, that's disappointing season. And from the sounds of it, it sounds like AJ Hinch's job is safe for now, thank God. Because it would make no sense to fire AJ Hinch. He was not the problem with the Tigers. Because AJ Hinch has never been given a good team by Alavilla. So now the Tigers' offseason begins. They already started by firing the director of their scouting department. So some house cleaning going underway for the offseason. So currently the Tigers, they end up currently 6th in the draft order for the draft. Heading into the draft lottery that will take place during the winter meetings. And for the draft lottery, all 18 teams that missed the playoffs are eligible for the top 6 picks. So the top 6 picks are decided by the lottery, and then 7th through 18th will be decided by where each team finished in the standings. So for the Tigers, they can go as high as 1st in the lottery, but go as low as 12th. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think the Tigers are going to get screwed in the lottery, and they'll end up like 9th or 10th or some shit. Just common Detroit luck. That's just because Detroit really rarely has any good luck in the lotteries. Unless you were the Pistons a couple years ago. And speaking of the Pistons, that's where we lead off to, because now the Detroit Pistons preseason has started, and the Pistons, well, I really don't care about wins or losses in the preseason like the Lions, Tigers, and Red Wings. I just care about how the team performs and just player evaluation, because preseason games are meaningless. It's just glorified scrimmages / test and tune-up sessions. But, you know, the Pistons, they had a lot of positives, some really good moments to look at, especially Jaden Ivey. Ivey is really looking like the real deal for the Pistons. So, yeah, interesting to see how he and Kate Cunningham do for years to come for the Pistons when the regular season comes around. This year's probably going to be a lot of growing pains for the Pistons. But who knows, maybe the Pistons could sneak into the play-in tournament, at least to maybe one of the top 10, or come close to it, but I don't know. Don't set the expectation bar too high. There's going to be a lot of growing pains for the Pistons this year, but at least there's some good things to take from the preseason games. Also, the Red Wings preseason wrapped up this week. They lost 3 out of 4 3 of their last 4 preseason games. Again, preseason games really don't mean anything. It's just player evaluation. You know, there's a lot of good things to like for sure. You know, a lot of things that need to be, a lot of good things here. Just, the Red Wings just getting warmed up for the regular season, which starts next Friday for their home opener against the Montreal Canadiens. Actually, their first 2 games are the back-to-back next weekend, with Friday at home against Montreal, and then Saturday playing the New Jersey Devils. So yeah, Red Wings season starts next week. We'll get to see Derek Lalonde in action. But yeah, I think the Red Wings could do some good things this year. I think the Wings, they could potentially sneak in on a wild card. And we all know how unpredictable hockey is. If you can get hot at the right time before the playoffs, you could do some damage here. But this is going to be another growth year for the team. And just Derek Lalonde trying to establish the system he wants to and the culture he wants to bring in with the Wings. So yeah, and the question is though, what happens with Tyler Bertuzzi? Will he be dealt at the deadline? Or will he be extended by Steve Yzerman? That's going to be a lot of questions that are going to be answered throughout the year. Steve Yzerman's going to have some decisions to make involving Tyler Bertuzzi and Dylan Larkin. since both their contracts are up at the end of the year. And let me just say this, if you have no desire to bring one or both of them back, then make sure to trade them by the deadline and get something back for them, instead of have them walk and get nothing back and dig yourself in a hole. So yeah, a lot of things to keep an eye on for the Red Wings season, but hey, I'm actually pumped up for Red Wings season. And if anyone's wondering, yes, there are Red Wings hate week nights coming up. I'm calling them hate nights for my NHL Trash Talk vids. Same deal with NBA. Since the Pistons regular season doesn't start this week, but it starts the week after. So yeah, the week after the Lions bye is when the Pistons season starts. It starts on the 19th against the Orlando Magic. And yes, I am doing Trash Talk vids for NBA too. So I'll be calling them hate nights. And the first hate night will be against Montreal. So yeah, I'm expanding the trash talking brand from just the NFL. Because MLB this year with the hate series, that was just the beginning of the expansion plan. NHL and NBA, I feel like tapping into those markets. So yeah, you'll get to see more trash talking content out of me. But hey, these will be pretty good ones too. So yeah, buckle up. There's some good ones coming. And now we get to the Lions game against the Patriots. This game was frustrating, man. This game was just an SOL type loss. It was just a bad game. There was a complete disaster from start to finish. The Lions just had no answers for Bill Belichick and Matt Patricia. Patricia wanted his revenge and he got it. Patricia the Patricia offense beat the Lions. The Lions got outcoached by Belichick. Because I said during the week that Bill Belichick's main thing is that he always likes to take away your biggest strength. And he took away the Lions' biggest strength, which was the entire offense. Because with the Lions, you stop that offense, that team the Lions fold. And it showed today. Hats off to the Patriots. Congrats to all the Patriot fans. Space Mel Ferrari 248, Blaze Light 334, Boston Sports Report, Tyson, a.k.a. Master at Work. Congrats to all the Patriot fans. This was a well-deserved win for you. Saves the Patriots season. The Lions defense got shredded by a third-string quarterback at Bailey Sapp. But yeah, Bill Belichick, the Patriots did no gimmicks in this game. They played a very conservative game. They made no mistake. They made very few mistakes. They played very conservative and did the bare minimum. And that's just how the Lions lost this game. And just for some reason, Jared Goff just seems to always struggle against the Patriots. It was a theme with the Rams, and now it's a theme with the Lions. Hey, shit happens, man. Sometimes you do well against some teams, and sometimes you don't do well against certain teams. It happens. That's just how it works. Just some teams have your number at the end of the day. But yeah, this game was just very fucking frustrating. The Lions made so many mistakes. They had chances to get points, but just so many errors cost them. There was the interception where Goff tried to throw the ball to Hawkinson in triple coverage near the goal line, and it got intercepted by Kyle Duggar. And then there was the fumble sack that led to the Patriots getting a touchdown that really put the game out of reach. This game was pretty much over from start to finish. Just a very rough game. And honestly, that fumble that led to a touchdown, that shouldn't have happened. The Lions should not have went for it on 4th and 9. Dan Campbell, just in that situation, either punt the ball away or take the points. Just take the points and go for the field goal. Honestly, I would have no problem going for it on 4th down if it was 4th and 1 or 4th and inches. Or maybe, hell, if it was 4th and goal. Penny where the ball is on 4th and goal. Under certain conditions. But 4th and 9, they should have just took the points, man. There's a reason why Bill Belichick is considered one of the greatest coaches in the league. Because he doesn't do stupid gimmick bullshit. He always plays it smart. He plays it safe. Dan Campbell and Lions just keep out coaching themselves. And no, Dan Campbell, Jared Goff was not the reason for this game. Honestly, I've defended Dan Campbell on a lot of things. But this game is 100% on Dan Campbell. The Lions just did not manage this game very well. The Lions managed this game very poorly. Like, just not good management. Like, it seems like this coaching staff just acts off frustration and emotion. Because how else do you explain them always abandoning shit that always works? And doubling and tripling down on shit that doesn't work. Like, playing down and distance instead of adapting to what the Patriots offense does. It's like Belichick knew what the defense was trying to do, and it just makes it easy, and Patricia knew it too. And that just made it easier to pick that defense apart and do the bare minimum. And hell, the 4th and 1 on the first, that the Lions went for in the first quarter, that was a bad play call, having Jamal Williams line up as the fullback. Like, why the fuck would you do that against one of the smartest coaches in the league? Like, Bill Belichick knew the ball was being handed off to Jamal in that situation, which just makes it easier to call a play and have the defense adjust to it. Like, the Patriots did no bullshit in this game. They played it smart. And yeah, Dan Campbell just got it flat out out-coached by one of the greatest coaches in the game, in Bill Belichick. So yeah, this game proved one thing. It proved that Matt Patricia was not the problem. But he sure as hell wasn't the solution. So the Lions' rabbit hole after Patricia ended, that rabbit hole seems to go deeper than that. So yeah, maybe the problems were well before Patricia showed up. Just some food for thought there, but just, yeah, the Lions, there's just a lot more questions here. Like, the Lions lose this game 29-0. They got flat out embarrassed. They got shut out. So yeah, this game, it's pretty safe to say, Lions season is over. Like, just so many injuries. The coaching staff just not being able to manage a game to save their life. Aaron Glenn just cannot adapt with the defense, cannot make adjustments, just keeps playing down and distance and makes no adjustments. And it's just frustrating to see that defense. And the defense played pretty decent too, and the Lions also losing turnover battles because the Patriots got 10 points off of turnovers. At least 10, maybe more. Just like, this was a frustrating game to watch. But yeah, this game just leads to a lot of questions for the Lions rebuild. And no, stop the fire Campbell chance. Campbell's not getting fired after 2 years after year 2 of a rebuild. I'd say at least if we gave Patricia 3 years, we gave Jim Schwartz 5 years, and Jim Caldwell 4 years, then we gotta give Dan Campbell around that same length too. Let me just say this. If there's no progress in this rebuild after, say, 3 or 4 years, then yeah, I would jump on that boat to fire Campbell. Right now, too soon for that. But Campbell's definitely got to make some shit definitely needs to change. Campbell has to manage the game better. Like, in those 4th down situations, if it's not 4th and 1 or 4th and inches, don't go for it. Just either punt the ball away or take the points. Just be smarter. Just be smarter and manage the game better. And Aaron Glenn, I think Aaron Glenn, you gotta put Aaron Glenn's ass on notice. Like, something needs to change on that Lions coaching staff. Because they can't keep doing the same thing over and over again expecting a different result. That's just the definition of insanity. And Campbell even answered this pretty well by saying that the Lions are at rock bottom. Okay, to be honest, where the Lions hit rock bottom is debatable. Some will say it's this game. Some will say it will be when we fired Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn. Some will say it'll be when we lost to the Bears on Thanksgiving last year when the Bears had Andy Dalton in. Some will say it was 0-16 or when we fired Jim Caldwell, etc., etc. Like, it's very debatable to find where Lions truly hit rock bottom. And don't worry, I'm going to go over that during Shatoilet War Week this year, when I show Jackass Tribe once again how you trash talk the Lions properly. Says it seems like Judah Tribe learned nothing from it last year, so you know what? I think it's time we do it again. And really end his career. Because here's the funny thing. Ever since I did that trash talk vid on the Lions last year, Judah Tribe has done next to no Lions trash talking since then. So me doing a trash talk vid on the Lions effectively ended Judah Tribe's trash talking career. Seems like I found the one thing to end Judah Tribe's career. But yeah, maybe I do it again. And don't worry, there is a Shatoy would hate this coming up. It's not on the Bears though. It's on a different Chicago team. Which team that is? You'll have to tune in to find out. But yeah, Lions season's over after a 29-0 loss. You know, the Lions fall to 1-4. We are going 1-4 into the bye week. We're injured to all hell. And you look at the next 4 games. The Lions probably could win 3 out of 4, but to try and sucker everyone back in after we say the Lions season is over, try and get everyone suckered back in. But I'm not buying it. But, you know, maybe they do. You know, maybe once we doubt them, they'll turn it around, but I have my doubts. Just, you know, that's just how this season's going to be. Going to be a lot of frustrations. Going to be a lot of ups and downs. Like, it's year 2 of a full rebuild. Just the thing is, I'm not sure how to let the Lions do from here on out. I mean, it's very obvious the defense is the biggest issue, but is Goff truly the guy going forward? We'll have to see. Time will tell. I mean, we'll have to see how these remaining 12 games go, but definitely this game leaves a lot of questions than answers. That's for sure. And don't worry, there is a Detroit Sports Cap next week, even though the Lions are on the bye. It'll be on the Red Wings and the Pistons wrapping up their preseason. And for the start of the Red Wings regular season. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up here. That's all I gotta say. Hope everyone's a great day, and I'll see you later. It's still gonna be one pride here. Despite getting paid, despite utter pain. Anyway, I'm out. See ya.